Here we are, day one of we don't know quite how many days. We know where we are at the moment, the start point. We have no idea where we're going apart from it's generally in that direction.
No, it's that direction.
As you can see, my navigator is...
We do have a sat-nav.
We do have a sat-nav. No, this is the beginning, so we're looking forward to a few days of hard driving and hard drinking.
And at least the sun's out.
It is.
For the start. We didn't know whether the weather was going to be bad, but so far, Sunday morning at 9:15, not bad so far.
So far. We haven't gone very far, but it's time to start.
Let's see if it works.
Well, we made it this far, the first leg of the journey, which is probably the worst actually because it was all motorway so far, and that's down to the Channel Tunnel. We've managed to get ourselves onto an earlier train, so we should hit France at least an hour to an hour and a half earlier than we thought we were going to, and we'll see where we get to. But so far, touch wood, she's running well.
So the buggy's leaving England for the last time. And Mark is threatening to do some tunnel blasting. Yeah, man, do a bit of tunnel blasting then.
Welcome to the Eurotunnel. As you can see, we're on the French side and the air conditioning is not on. And after having been air conditioned on the route down here, it's a little bit of a culture shock to the system, but we'll cope. We're about 35 minutes away now from France, and the rest of the journey beginning. Here we are in France, glorious sunshine on the first leg of our journey, and we're heading down to Steve's brother John's gîte, which is Poitiers, or at least near Poitiers. So for those Brits who are map challenged, it's not far from Le Mans. So we will pass close by the circuit, and God willing and a following wind will make it there probably about 9 or 10 this evening if all goes well.
Okay, so where are we? We're at John and Laura's at Rimbard, halfway down France, and we've broken down. We've got an oil leak. Well, we've got an oil leak when it gets cold, not when it gets hot. So we're just going to go for it, I think, aren't we?
And as you can tell, Steve is more stressed about this than I am at the moment, which is kind of weird and unusual, and but we're here. Yeah. And if we break down, France is full of wine and cheese, and we're going to have a great time. So.
Yeah, I think so. We're going to try and have a good time, let's put it that way. Oh, we need to clean the bugs off the windscreen because we can't see out there.
Oh, that's all right. I like not seeing where we're going. It makes it more interesting.
Right. So we've got...
we need to find a fuel station as well, otherwise... yesterday's adventure, which we didn't video, was an interesting discussion at about 8 o'clock in the evening. Should we fill up No, we'll be fine, says Steve. And 5 kilometres later, we ran out of fuel. So, note to self, when we feel the need to fill up.
Fill up. Yeah. All right. My fault, we ran out of fuel as well. And we didn't have any fuel in the fuel can. But we had a fuel can, which was good. At least I could wave the fuel can frantically on the side of the road, and some Frenchmen stopped, which was good. So then I got 20 kilometres up the road, filled up, and then thought, now how do I get back? In my broken French, managed to get a lift back, because sticking your thumb out on the side of the road in France, is illegal. Anyway, we did it.
So is stopping on the side of the road in an emergency lay-by. Apparently that's illegal too.
Yeah.
We managed to master that one.
Isn't everything in France illegal?
But of course, so.
Right.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Have we got anything good? No, we haven't got my rucksack.
You haven't got your rucksack.
I need a pee, and then we're going to get en route.
Okay.
So that's it. So we'll sign off now, and we'll see you hopefully at our next destination, and not on the side of the road broken down with a seized up engine with no oil in. Okay?
Done.
Let's go. See you in a bit. The rubbish and that muck on the floor in here, just can't get the stuff these days. Anyway.
You've seen the 2 hairy bikers, haven't you? These are the not so too hairy buggy drivers.
The things I'm going to put up with are messing in this car.
I wouldn't mind if you were driving yesterday.
Oh, right, my fault. Right.
Put some cameras.
How's the drive, Mark?
The drive's good. Seat's a bit sore on the rump. And I have to get some padding or slim down because I've lost mine. Where are we going? Do I have to turn here? Yeah. It's alright. Just making sure. For those used to driving modern cars, this one's a real wheeze because it's the old braking system, which means you can't put the brakes on hard and you have to think probably about 50 yards before you need to slow down. First one today. Mark 1, Steve 0. Steve thought we wouldn't get any further than off the end of the drive this morning, and here we are, approximately 95 miles from where we intended to be this evening. We still have probably a good couple of hours of driving that we can do tonight, and the weather is absolutely stunning. We don't quite know where we are because the sat-nav's driving us, but it's great. We've squealed the tyres a few times, well, at least once well. And we're having some great fun. Steve is probably going to want me to stop filming soon because I think he'll need a pee, but we're ready to set to go find somewhere to sleep tonight and eat, hopefully with a great bottle of French wine.
What a perfect end to day 2. Or so we thought.
Nearly done. Right, that should do it.
Here we go, Kama Sutra for mechanics coming up.
Someone's put a gear lever in the way.
I think it was you. You put the gear lever in.
Ah, there we are. No problems there.
That'll teach you to smack the gauge. Come on, reach for it, reach for it. There.
Interview with Mark coming up.
Oh, sorry. I was concentrating on the route. Well, here we are, morning of Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. It's sunny, which is a great start to the day. We're headed down to the coast today, and hopefully today we'll have cracked the oil leak and the fact that we've not managed to run out of petrol again yesterday. Although it came close, Steve's adventure with the speedometer seems to have affected our fuel gauge so that it's now showing permanently full. But some careful calculation on the miles and we seem to be getting there. So looking forward to today. Yeah, where are we going today? Over a viaduct somewhere, Steve? Somewhere near Montpellier, I understand. And hopefully heading down to towards Monte Carlo. We won't actually stay in Monte Carlo today because the cheapest room we could find was €589. So we thought that was a little bit excessive even if we were sharing. So we're going to try and head inland either on the French side or the Italian side, and then tomorrow we'll go down and we're going to take the buggy around the Formula One course, at least part of it. Probably not as quickly, but we'll get there. So that's it for the day.
So here we are with our normal daily task.
Was it the unwrapping the bug?
Yeah.
People think it's so that we can keep it dry. It's not, it's to make sure that the birds don't crap on the seats.
Voila.
Now apparently, because I'm a technology numpty and I missed the first bit of this yesterday, I thought you might like to see the morning routine that we go through with Uncle Steve practicing the Kama Sutra for mechanics. At this stage you'll see he's inverted himself on the seat, in and of itself apparently a very difficult move. He's now underneath the dashboard and he's just making sure that there's nothing else that's come loose that is evident, both from the rattling that the car can take, but more importantly from the over-energetic thumping that sometimes the dash gets, which I'm never quite sure is due to my driving or Steve's frustration that the petrol gauge is still showing full when he knows it should be empty.
Ha!
But there he is, underneath.
This is the...
Oh, there it is.
This is what's causing the problem.
Oh, we found it, have we?
We have.
Oh.
What we need now is a screwdriver.
Hang on a minute, I'm going to have to turn it off because you've got the keys. Hold on. Now armed with his Phillips screwdriver, he's busy at work under there and he informs me he may be gone some time. Which probably means I could go back and have some more breakfast, but it could be over in a couple of seconds.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. We found the problem though. Some of the equipment wasn't working because when we energetically knocked the speedo out yesterday, the earthing wire came out as well, so the circuits haven't been complete all afternoon. So let's see if repairing everything will give us an accurate fuel gauge, as much as you can with this car, and whether all of the other gauges work, so we're not guessing the speed either. Here he comes. Now this is Steve getting out of the Kama Sutra position. Here we go. Yes, and oh.
There we are. Fixed, hopefully. Where's them keys? Let's see if it works now.
Gauges work?
Well, it's gone up, but we do have a lot of fuel because we just fueled up, so it's at showing full at least, but not as full as it was when it was banging off the stop. It's actually come down a little bit, so I do think we've actually fixed it.
Excellent.
What do they always
stand aside when they see us. It's like they're pinning themselves on the wall. Something I did. That bridge, this whole area is just stunning. If you're wondering why we've put our jumpers back on, even though it's probably about 27, 28 degrees, is this high up, not only is it windy, but the air is cooling a little. So we decided to stop a little while ago and put everything on so that we would be a little warmer. But this is absolutely brilliant. For Rockfort. We've just seen the place and on the spur of the moment decided it's got to be done. So Trace, we apologise, we are going to try and bring you some back, but we don't have a cooler box. So whether it lasts for 3 days or not, don't know. We'll see.
Je n'ai besoin de rien, rien qu'un bout de pain pour accompagner mon fromage préféré. Un tel arôme quand il est bien fait, ça ne séduit que le goût français. Critiquez-le, ça m'est égal. En attendant, je me régale. Le camembert, c'est pas pour les étrangers. C'est pas pour...
Scouting mission successful. Roquefort cheese from Roquefort.
Good.
We have, in addition to that, just because we have to enjoy some rosé type stuff, which apparently is good. It's won some medal. And some sort of red from the area as well, which apparently goes well with Roquefort cheese. A principle we will test later. We've got a cooled bag in which we have a small piece of cheese, some of which Tracy might make its way to Hungary, and we have a couple of sausage. One is duck and the other is from the area, so I presume it must be goat or ewe cheese. So there are lots of different shops, but that was the first one I came to. And very cheap as well, compared to the UK. Absolutely dirt cheap. So there you go. Result on a whim.
Everybody laughed that I was bringing my Swiss Army knife.
but it's coming very useful on day 2 or 3, whatever we're on, because we've decided to get a bottle of rosé and some cheese. So we've now got the cheese.
And where did we get the cheese from?
We got the cheese from
Roquefort.
Roquefort.
That's where we've just been, Steve.
As in Roquefort mushroom cheese at Trace Mates. So yeah, we've just been to Roquefort. We had a quick visit there. We got some cheese, we got some wine, and now we've just got some bread. Now what we're going to do now is we've got to make some. It's like Delia Smith, this, isn't it?
Hang on, it's pink. It's Floyd. Floyd, because we got wine. Delia doesn't cook with wine.
Right. We've got to make some makeshift glasses for our wine.
What's wrong with the glass bottle?
We are civilised here. We are civilised in the fact that I'm going to make some wine glasses.
Now, kids watching at home, don't try this without adult supervision.
Get your parents to cook this for you. Do not do this. Honestly. Right.
I
First
expect
wine
chefs
glass.
to run out of the undergrowth at any moment, mate.
There we go.
You got your Blue Peter badge, didn't you?
There we are.
Go on then, tell me, is it good? Peachy.
Yes, perfect. Just cut my lip on the plastic now. Really.
So here we are, the end of day 3. We found ourselves just north of Monaco. We decided not to go into Monaco today because we want to go in tomorrow and actually start the grid and do the whole circuit of the city. Obviously a little slower than the Formula 1 boys do it, but nonetheless. And possibly to take in a nice coffee and cake on the waterfront. So we've stopped at a French village, like a town, just north of Monaco that neither Steve nor I can pronounce. We would, however, say that the meal we've had is the best we've had on this trip. And if you'd like to pan, you can see that we had a small tower of beer, which we're going to do our best in finishing. Apart from that, highlights from the day, well, we discovered that you really can't eat ice cream in the car when you're travelling at 55 miles an hour, especially with the crosswind. I was perfectly safe, although I did complain that I lost half my ice cream. Steve, on the other hand, gained. He wore most of it, and along with his Factor 1000 sunblock, which didn't really help today, managed to get most of the ice cream across his face.
This is what happens when Mark eats an ice cream when we're going along the road in the buggy. I happen to wear all of it.
What else did we learn today? I think it was hot. Sun factor needs to be applied every 15 minutes, as we're both slightly bronzed. In Steve's case, his nose is looking like a small Alicia beacon. And generally we had a good time. It was a nice relaxing trip. Didn't seem to take the time it took, and we managed to find great accommodation. Although we're not sure it's the right hotel, we booked ourselves into a hotel called the Park Hotel, and we're in a hotel called the Park Hotel in the right town, but they had no recollection of our booking, so we're kind of assuming there might be 2 of them, and we just happened to find the first one, so whatever, they have a closed-in car park, so the car is safe, battened down for the night. We've come out, we've had a great meal, beef steak tartare for me, rack of lamb for Steve, and we're tying up the evening with a well-earned beer and contemplating the trip down into Monaco, Monte Carlo, and then across the coast tomorrow to Italy, before we decide which part of Italy we're going to head up towards, whether it's Milan in the north, or whether we're going to head down to Pisa in the south and cut across the middle of the country and come up the outside again. We will see, tomorrow will tell. Well, here we are, beginning of, I think it's Wednesday, we're losing track of time already. It's a gloriously sunny day. We're just north of Monaco, and the intention is to head down into Monaco and cruise the strip. Well, Steve's going to drive, I'm just going to sit and do the Royal Wave today. And then we're going to head up into Italy. We've got a route which gives us part motorway and part non-motorway. And a lot's going to depend on how long we spend in Monaco and really, I guess, how we feel. intention is to pull off about 5 p.m. tonight, find a little Panzio somewhere in Italy, probably towards Padova, Venice, and see if we can find some genuine Italian food. Last night's meal was great, probably the best we've had this week, which is not saying much since we didn't really eat on Sunday. And Monday's was I think a confirmed disaster. It sort of had a taste of food, and the meat vaguely resembled beef, but we strongly suspect was roadkill. Apart from that, we're having a great time. It's going to be a hot day, so Steve, you need to put the Chernobyl block on, otherwise, you know, your red nose is going to look like a traffic light. I'm going to film today, so you're going to get the chance to see just how red Steve is, but sadly he looks to be one of these annoying chaps who goes brown at the drop of a hat as well, so we should be nice and bronzed by the time we get to Hungary. I think that's about it for now. We're ready to go. Oh, and there's no oil. See, Steve, ye of little faith. So here we are, the only traffic jam that we've managed to get ourselves into so far, and this is the one to get into Monaco.
Well, I'm just setting up the other video recorder as I'm driving, which is probably not the most sensible thing to do, but needs must when you're in Monaco. But yeah, as Marcus just said, it's probably the first and hopefully the last, sorry about that, traffic jam we will see. But here we are, coming into Monaco. If somebody would have told me I would be driving through Monaco in the old beach buggy, I would have said they were mad.
Wow. Yeah. I had no idea it was this close in. So we're on the grid. Here we are. Which one are we on? Bus. Just because not happy because I got in his way.
Lunchtime, day 3. We made it to Monaco. We've been round the streets at least, I don't know, twice. We've been through tunnels we didn't know existed. We tried to leave at least twice, but we got back in again. It's a fantastic place. We're at the moment down where on the Formula 1 weekend the pits and the pit lanes are. So Steve and I are having a great time, and looking forward now to the trip out into Italy. So let's see where we end up tonight. And just look at the harbour view. What would you do to have a toy like that?
So here we are. We actually made it. Whether I actually believed we would ever make it out of England, never mind get to Monaco in the beach buggy, is something that has amazed me, let's put it that way. But we're here. It's glorious weather, as you can see. We're contemplating on buying one of these for our next joint, but I don't think our missuses will actually allow us to do that. But if they do, and we've got a few million spare, we'll probably have one. But until then, we'll have to put up with the beach buggy. We'll have to get on the road now. We've got Italy to come to, pizzas, paella, and whatever else they have in Italy, and plenty of vino. See you later. So after we finally found our way out of Monaco with our trusty sat-nav, nothing could prepare us for what happened next.
Right, Steve, do you want to explain to everybody what's going on?
Yeah, we've broken down in a tunnel of all places. We went into a tunnel with no hard shoulder, and the accelerator went flat to the floor. We lost all power. So unfortunately we were slight incline, so we couldn't even roll out the tunnel. So frantically we got the triangle out and Mark legged it with his gammy leg, like Hopalong Cassidy, down the hard shoulder. All I could see was, it was a case of as he's going down the hard shoulder with triangle in hand, as cars were swooping past us. Anyway, we managed to stop the cars from running back of us. Instantly knew what it was. Accelerator cable broken at the engine end. So for 2 kilometres or 2.5 kilometres, I was sitting in the back of the car, leaning over with my hand in the back here, accelerating and de-accelerating when Mark was changing gear. It got us out the tunnel. We found an area to pull off. We felt we were safe. We then set aside to start fixing the problem, and then the breakdown truck turned up. Obviously it's illegal to stop on a motorway in Italy or France, and they were there, like they were on us like a rush. But quick as a flash, I managed to fix it. Temporary, I must add. So we gave the thumbs up to him and managed to get on our way, still with the back of the car hanging out. We managed to get away with a dodgy accelerator down to the services where we are now, which was literally about another 2k. So we pulled in, and now I'm going to try and do a bit more of a serious repair. But without an accelerator cable, we're actually stuffed. So I'll have to do something a bit on the temporary side. But hey ho, we're in Italy now, and they're even more laid back than the French. So if you don't mind, I'm going to carry on fixing. There's something long and thin to shove in there. Come on, get your willy out. That'll do instead, look. I was going to say I always needed a little screw. And now I've got one. So we might just be able to hold that in place. Engineering.
And this, folks, is after he revealed this morning at breakfast he was astonished that we even made it out of England, let alone over 1,000 miles to the south of France, to Monaco. I keep telling him, oh ye of little faith. This is the first serious problem we've had with the car since we started. If you discount the running out of fuel, which was human error. And this one was pretty catastrophic insofar as that the cable snapped completely. But probably not surprising given it's a car with all its original parts. Steve, be careful, that red thing's hot.
Fix up the exhaust pipe.
But apart from that, we're having fun. Steve's Chernobyl block is not quite working today, but it is very hot down here on the coast. And, well, he's probably going to need somebody to help him down here, so I'll put the camera down and we'll be back online later, hopefully further into Italy when we've found somewhere to stay for the night. Well, here we are, Thursday, and on cue the sun's coming out. We are just north of Genoa, so this is going to count kind of as Wednesday night's briefing and Thursday mornings in one, because last night Steve and I were a bit tired. I think Steve was a little bit stressed still from the day, having performed acrobatics, nearly got himself killed, and managed to get the car going again. So we had a quiet meal down on the coast. Food was superb. Service was unfortunately, I think safest to say, left a lot to be desired, but the food was still good. We had a nice bottle of wine between us. Crashed last night. Ready bright and early to start the day. Plan today is to go up through the mountains, and we should make Venice sometime around lunchtime. and then we're going to see how the car's performing and how we feel, and push on down through Slovenia into Croatia, and we've got a decision to make mid-afternoon if things are going well enough as to whether we pick it up and take it across into the bottom end of Hungary, in which case we will go to Kehida and stay with Tihamir, which probably is going to be very dangerous for our livers. So big decision to make later on today. Hopefully Steve won't be doing acrobatics over the back of the car, acting as the accelerator, and me wondering whether he's still there as I'm looking in the rear view mirror today, but we will see. Should be a good day.
This is Mark going through the normal morning activity of undoing the security locks, just in case these thieving sods around here nick it.
What, the mountain goats?
Yeah, that's the one. And he's going to fire it up the first time to see if we've got an over-accelerating car.
No is the answer.
Not bad, I did a tweak.
The only concern I have this morning is that last night in our tiredness, the petrol gauge, which is now working, so Steve's acrobatics yesterday did something, both the lights behind the dash are now on, but that signals that we're empty almost. So the first priority has got to be to find a petrol station of some sort. And I seem to recall I saw one a couple of kilometres back down the motorway, or back down the road to the motorway. The question is whether Mrs. Satnav is going to take us in that direction or some other direction. We will see. All aboard, who's coming aboard? Getting better.
Excellent. So Mark, what's going on now then?
Well, we've just hit the first piece of rain that we've had all week in Slovenia. We're up in the mountains heading towards Ljubljana, and although it's only a few smatterings, which we've discovered, we have it both sides of the screen, so the windscreen wipers are working on the outside whilst the spray is gathering on the inside. The rear view mirror obviously is sprayed up, so we're just sitting and letting it pass for a few minutes to allow the spray on the road, which is the biggest problem, to die down. Cup of coffee. Steve is well happy because of course he has a very hard and dry waterproof case allegedly, and the rest of the kit's on the back, so we'll see, but we're having fun. It just got a bit chilly quite quickly as we went up into the mountains, and then the heavens opened and we had a small shower, so we'll take a short break and be right back.
Okay, this is a bit like one of those dodgy secret filming things. So we're sat in McDonald's, all wet, trying to dry out, and Mark's on his laptop, and yeah, it's pretty bad out there. Anyway, this is secret filming. We haven't got the big camera out for this one, so nobody wonders what we're doing. But I'll just pan around the room in a minute and just show you that we're in McDonald's. There's Mark working on his laptop. Rather wet. and it's still pouring down outside. So I've just been in the gents drying my sweatshirt under the hand dryer, thinking to myself, I'm nearly 50 years old, I'm in Slovenia, in McDonald's, wet, drying my sweatshirt under a hand dryer. What are we up to?
Hello. Well, as you can see, we've had a real adventure this afternoon. We decided it was going to rain on us, and we discovered that you get as much rain on the inside of the windscreen as you do the outside, so the windscreen wipers are only half effective. We're both wrapped up well now though, with our skid lids on, both suffering from helmet hair, and we're about 50 kilometres from the hotel we've chosen, which is probably about 3/4 of the way between Ljubljana and Maribor, so generally in the direction we need tomorrow for the last leg. We're both probably sodden to the skin. We have eaten because everything slows down in Slovenia at night, so we were awfully bad and went to McDonald's, if we can admit that on film, for tea. But Steve did manage to get his sweatshirt dry. He spent 3/4 of an hour in the toilets under the blow dryer thing that you use to dry your hands. I did point out that standing in there with a Mac in McDonald's, where there are lots of children, might get him undue attention, but nonetheless he persevered and did actually manage to get his sweatshirt dry. So he's not quite as wet as I am in terms of dampness. Anyway, I'm going to concentrate on the road and getting us there, hopefully before nightfall, and we'll do a final report out for this evening once we get to the hotel, which we hope is going to be as good as at least the others that we've stayed in this week.
With our bellies full of burger and chips, we drove on into the night. Well, 33 minutes actually, until we reached our hotel for the night. But as there was only a public car park, we decided to leave her on the pavement, right outside the front door.
Well, we finally made it. We decided that with all the rain we'd hole up in McDonald's of all places until it passed. It proved to be a good decision. All the lorries had left the road. I think we only waited about an hour and we finally got up here just before 9. The hotel is clean, different. They do serve great beer, which we've been enjoying. But yeah, we got here fine and we're hoping that it's going to be another good day tomorrow.
Where is here?
Here we're halfway, well, probably about 3/4 of the way between Ljubljana and Maribor, and on our way to Hungary. So tomorrow we'll see us leave here about 9 o'clock. We'll make it into Hungary up to Balaton Lella, which is where Leila's older brother has a summer house, and we'll stop there for lunch and a little lubrication, and after a suitable pause we'll then head on to Kecskemét, and we should get there, we hope, about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So it's still light and warm. Weather's great there, so we're looking forward to getting back to the dry. Can't really say much more than that. It's been a fantastic day. We got stopped by the police for the first time, which we felt proud of because we weren't speeding. And it was just basically the Italian police couldn't believe that they got an English number plated car as close to the Slovenian border as we were. Having travelled the route that we travelled, they just wanted to pull us over to talk to us and to have a look at the car. So Steve and I are looking for a Ferrari badge just to put on the back because we think that might be an added attraction for the Italians. We've been honked at, waved at, had our picture taken. In fact, we're fairly sure, apart from our own additions to Facebook, that we must be on Facebook thousands of times for the number of pictures that have been taken of us over the last 4 days. including one very stylish gentleman. In fact, one of the most memorable moments I have is a Harley Davidson Fat Boy, very heavily chromed, pulled up next to us in a car park with a gentleman probably closer to 60 than he was 20, done with all the leathers, big jacket, doublet, everything else, and his wife of similar age perched on the back. And it wasn't until he kicked the stand down I suddenly realised that in addition to all of the leathers, he was wearing soft Italian loafers, only in Italy. So I guess that's it really for the day. We're about to hit the sack. We'll be ready to roll again at around about 9 AM tomorrow morning for the final day. So, good so far.
Yes, Mark, but what about the colour scheme?
It's orange, very orange. And the really scary thing is all of the rooms are this orange.
Even inside.
However, the hotel is clean, the beds are comfortable, and as all this week, it's been potluck, but we've been very, very lucky, so we can't complain. Good night.
Next morning, our orange rooms looked even brighter. We even had full-length mirrors. Any more hotels lined up like this, Mark?
It's what we hope will be the final morning. We'll be leaving Celia very shortly and headed to the Hungarian border. Steve's going to take the first leg across and hopefully get to my brother-in-law's for a spot of light lunch. And then I'll take the final leg through the back streets of rural Hungary to Kecskemét. We're going to go cross country, probably take the M7 as far as Székesfehérvár, cross over to Dunaújváros, and then up the back through Sod to get home. So let's hope that the weather holds good. After our adventure in the rain yesterday, we've stayed, I think, all week at some pretty interesting hotels. They've all been clean, all nice, this one included. This takes me back to the late 1980s in terms of style of hotel, but it was interesting, and they served great coffee last night in big stone steins, so both Steve and I were happy. Anyway, need to keep preparing. We're going to try and find a donut shop on the way, which is quite famous, about probably about 20-30 clicks the other side of Maribor. But if we don't, we go home empty-handed. Other than that, need to get finished with the prep and get the car ready, make sure she's still running after all of the rain, and we'll catch you lunchtime.
As Mark prepares the car for the last time, I too have some preparing to do.
How do I look?
Oh, sad.
Ice cream does wonders for your skin. Onward and upward. Off we go then. Just to worry a little bit there.
With the old girl now started, we set off with me at the wheel for the final time.
Well, we've arrived at the first stop in Hungary, eventually. I thought I knew the way, but got confused because my defence is the end of the road, which was normally white gravel, someone's kindly tarmacked, and I hadn't realised that, so I was looking for the white gravel. But we've had a very, very scenic tour of the vineyards of this area, and some peach trees, which we came close enough to scrump, and if Steve hadn't turned the wheel, we might have actually got a couple of peaches. However, we are here. This is the first break of the day and the last one probably before we make it home. We are just shy of 2,000 miles on the car, which is, I think, probably 1,990 more than Steve thought we'd be doing when he started off, although he wasn't going to admit that when we left home. So we're here, we're going to have a spot of lunch with Juicy and Ginny, and some grapes from their vineyard, and then we'll look to head home for the last leg, 3 hours cross country.
So here we are now, just leaving Layla's brother's house on the dirt track, as you can see. Slightly rough, but that's what these cars are made for. Mark is now in the driving seat. Hopefully in about 3 hours' time we will get to our next destination. And now Mark is complaining.
We've just been to my brother-in-law's. They have a small family place on the shores of Lake Balaton. In addition to the grand tour, which I think took all of about 3 minutes to see, my brother-in-law opened his wine cellar, and you'd have to ask Steve, but the wine that was drunk for lunch I think was exceptionally good, and to coin Steve's expression, he's now well oiled. So if this is coming across all wobbly and jerky from the cameraman, he's well oiled.
No, I'm blaming it on the driving.
We're now on the last bit, which should take us about between 2.5 and 3 hours. We're heading through Balaton Semesh at the moment, heading out to pick up the M7. We will take that up to Székesfehérvár, then we'll cut across country to Dunaújváros. Then from Dunaújváros we're going to try and find a new bridge which has just been opened, and the Baja Bridge is called, which is quite pretty. Head into Sod from there, and then into the back of Kecskemét from that point forward. So about 3 hours from now we should be home, all being well. 2,000 miles!
Okay, we've got about 19 minutes to go for our destination. Still very, very warm. Mark is now driving. He's going to take us home, or take him home.
You're home.
I hope. A bit breezy though. But what Mark doesn't know is we've enjoyed ourselves so much. I think in the next few weeks we're just going to turn around and come back.
You think they'll let us?
No. epic journey has come to an end. And after owning this car for over 27 years, I couldn't think of a better way of driving her for the last time. What a fantastic journey.
Well, here we are, 2,226 miles later, 6 days, one breakdown, one abortive visit to a French mechanic who sucked his teeth and did the typical big job, sacre bleu, and I can't start until the 28th of August, and we still got here. One near-death experience and a whole load of fun. So chaps, we hope you've had as much fun watching this as we had driving it, and the film probably won't do justice to some of the fun and the views that we had, because you can't do everything at once, and driving, filming and navigating is, we're men after all, one thing at a time. You might be asking, well, why are we showing you the whole experience? Steve and I thought halfway round that it would have been great if we'd actually got some sponsorship and done it for charity, for a kids' charity, for something. So the challenge we're kind of going to lay out for everyone is we'd like to do it again next year, but with more of us. Now we know the limitations and how far we can get. We're thinking about putting it together. So the question is, are you up for it? You're in? And will the wife let you come out and play?